we played the way we've been practicing, in camp, and we had some mistakes, obviously, and which is expected, but the effort was there. The guys were prepared. Really pleased with where we're at in our development. But listen, we got a long way to go, right? I mean, I've been on the other side of those games as well, and told the guys that constant improvement is what we need to focus on.
Matthews looked pretty good for a guy who'd never been out there before.
He's a pretty good player. Yeah, he's got the benefit of being in the offense. Obviously it's modified to this game, but from terminology and the concepts that we run, he's very familiar with it, so that helps him come up the curve quicker.
He looked really comfortable out there for a guy that had never played. Were you surprised with that? I don't think a lot of people were surprised. I don't think he was.
No, I had him for 3 years. Didn't get to coach him his senior year, but got him from his freshman year through his junior year. He's just the way he's wired. He was a great player in college, and I think he's got an opportunity to be an outstanding quarterback. So he's still got a lot to learn.
Give me a feel for returns and what that new rule. I mean, obviously there was lots of yardage out there.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get a feel for that, or is it too early to?
Too early.
Yeah,
too early. I mean, we'll see. I mean, there was also some pretty good coverage as well, especially early in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have your first units out there, when both teams had their first units out there, I thought the coverage was pretty good. They punted the ball really well. We did a good job in the kicking game as well. So I don't know yet. We'll see. But I think for sure it should open it up. I just don't know to what degree.
Looks like concentration is a huge issue. Like, I mean,
concentration.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
you mean just on making sure that there's not much room for error there.
Well, if you're playing against a great returner,
yeah
especially. And when you have, they started the music. Especially when you have a great returner too, it really gives a lot of incentive for the guys on that team to block hard and to hold blocks longer. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. It's good for the league.
What does it mean for the team to have a guy like Justin back there doing what he does?
Hold on a minute. Hey, I'm going to turn off that music. Yeah, tell them to turn the music up, please. Yeah, until we're done with the media. Sorry. I'm sorry, y'all.
No, that's right. No, just Medlock and what he does automatically, for this team.
Well, he's an outstanding, he's an outstanding kicker. I mean, we have great confidence in him wherever we line up on the field. Unless it's just a gale force wind that he can get us the 3 points when we need it. So. I just have a lot of faith in him.
What does it do for your confidence as a coaching staff?
Well, that's what I said. I mean, to elaborate a little bit, we know that when we get in his range, that he's going to be very, very accurate. So it's not a guaranteed 3, but he's going to hit. That's right. He's going to hit him more than not, and so can kind of change your play call a little bit because of that.
You've always talked about the players you bring in here. Not just are talented players physically, but mentally as well. You're looking for a particular personality of player. Into this third season, do you believe that when you go on the depth chart that you've got all the guys who fit everything?
Yeah, it's still early. We've only had 6-7 days of practice, and then we had to play a game, and we still got to get a lot in, and that we don't have in right now. And we'll see. Sometimes the mental fatigue of camp adds up as well with an individual player, and he can take some steps backwards. So we just have to make sure that we're tempoing not only the learning but also what we're doing physically, so we compete towards the start of the season.
Tolliver left the game.
Yeah. No, we got good news on him. We were concerned it might have been a pretty tough injury with his arm, but the results came back negative. So we got him to the hospital and got an X-ray, and so we're pleased he's fine.
Some luck for a change.
Well, yeah, that's exactly right. Stuff happens, and every team puts up with it. But it's good for him and good for us.
Overall, came out of that game fairly healthy.
We had a few. No, we had a few. We got a few things. I don't know how serious they are at this point. I just haven't talked to the doctor yet, but we'll get a better idea tomorrow.
When Medlock's the only kicker, would you rather when he's making those tackles in the game there and
he's gonna have to make them in the regular season.
Yeah.
That happens. So he needs to work on it. He needs to break down, bend in the knees, get a flat back, hit on the rise, all that stuff.
Can Matthews help maybe? We watched him with that
What's
chest
that?
bump. Matthews might be able to help him. We watched him on that chest bump with Tolliver after the touchdown.
Yeah. But that I don't know. I don't know if any of our Qs can. I mean, Jacory's block wasn't that great either when Sink spun the field on him. But no, I mean we look. I don't want Medlock having to make tackles. Obviously, we don't want Medlock having to make tackles, obviously, and especially in preseason. But probably going to have to happen in the regular season.
We haven't talked about the defense, but they played pretty well tonight.
They did. They got them off the field quite a few times. I think they only had one really long, sustained drive in the second half. Had good pressure. We stopped the run. They had a pretty good performance.
That was mostly. I mean, you sat half a dozen guys who played last year. I wouldn't call them starters, but guys who played last year. So I mean, these were guys who were, competing for jobs, I guess. And good to see that kind of performance from.
Yeah, I mean,
players
I don't want to make too much of it on either side of the ball until we actually truly grade the film, and because sometimes plays are made when the other team makes mistakes. So we got to grade the film and put a critical eye on it and evaluate it properly. But the effort was definitely there.
Overall, as first preseason games go, happy with it?
Well, at first blush you would say yes, but because I just saw the guys competing. They were into the game. They were supporting each other. When the offense was on the field, the defense was supporting them, and vice versa. That's what we need. But I might have a different opinion when we grade the film, so we'll see.
Individual assessments are going to have positives and negatives, but if you
Right.
had to choose one negative as a team, would it be discipline? Would it be something?
We're not happy with the 15-yard penalties. Those after the play penalties, we'll see how accurate those were, but they looked pretty accurate on the field. So at least when I saw a couple of them, they looked like they were good calls, and I've got to get that. We have to get that under control. We can't be undisciplined like that.
Relatively clean game compared to what you thought it would be in terms of the illegal contact downfield and everything.
I think both teams. I think you see that both. At least Ottawa and us. You can tell that we've coached to it. They've done a good job coaching to it as well. It's a good sign. It's not going to be perfect yet, and retraining guys that have been trained a particular way, to play the game. But right now, I think you see evidence that the coaches are coaching to the rule.